What's up? What's up, everyone? Thanks for stopping by. We got a new show tonight. It's going to be every Thursday. There's going to be a Rogue Entertainment show. Rogue Entertainment presents Rogue's Gallery, where we bring on some folks, ask them some questions about their projects and themselves, and just create some awareness for some of the cool projects out there. But let's say hello to the chat real quick. We got Wiki Lives Matter in the house. Yeah, man, not sure if Steve is going to be stopping by, but if he does, I'll make sure he yells about something. Aaron's here. Hey, Aaron. Aaron is also here with us. We're going to be talking a little bit about Murder Weapon. Power Rider's in the house as well. Good to see you, my man. Yeah. Very proud, very proud. What's up, Sugar Chris? How you doing, my friend? Thanks for stopping in. And we got the Ryan Cardinal here as well. So I'm going to introduce my co-host, Katie. What's up? What's up?
What up, what up, what up? I'm just proud. This day is getting more and more awesome. Yeah.
Totally. Yeah, it's almost Friday.
Yeah, that's like, the worst day is probably the day between the hump day and the Friday, right? No, that's the second worst day. The worst day is Monday, obviously. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I just like Tuesdays more than Mondays, but that's just
Why?
me. I don't know, because it's like Monday is like that punch in the face, and Tuesday is like the day you're feeling it,
Yeah, okay, never mind. That's a joke. Maybe for some other time. Okay.
Johnny Cage is here. Good to see you, my friend. So yeah, we're testing out a new format tonight. We're going to bring our creators on one at a time, ask them some questions, and if you guys in the chat have any questions as well, feel free to ask, and we will we'll see what's up. Taylor M's here. What's up, my man? Doing well, my friend. Doing well. But our first guest is Area Blackness. What's up, my man?
Cool. Am I the first rogue in the Rogues Gallery then?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're number one.
Hey, awesome. I'm going to change my name to the Joker now.
Yeah, you're going to be hanging on a wall of fame in the very first place.
Awesome. Thanks for having me, guys.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm going to bring up your campaign. We got Tailless, The Adventures of Tailless here.
Yeah.
And this is where we're going to launch the first question. Are you ready?
Let's go for it.
All right, my friend, just give us the pitch for this. If you're just, on an elevator, you need to sell this quick. What are you going to tell them?
Okay, well, the clue's in the name. The Adventures of Tailless in Outer Space basically says it all. This book is a collection of 7 short mini-comics. Each one is a brand new adventure from Tailless in outer space. Basically, as far as the story goes, it's set in a galaxy where there's these crazy superpowered supervillains terrorizing all the good people of the galaxy. And unfortunately, the Galactic Police Force just does not have what it takes to defend the good citizens of the galaxy. Therefore, they need someone like Tailless, the 6-foot-tall spandex-clad intergalactic vigilante, his psychic jet, and his fiery love interest, Adelaide, to save the day. Yeah, basically superheroes in outer space. They've got crazy cool, shredded He-Man style bodies. They wear Power Ranger spandex, and they've got the heads of animals. I mean, that's it. That's the Adventures of Tailless in outer space.
Beautiful. That's a nice nutshell you got there.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Like they're heads of the animals, but they are tailless.
Exactly. You know what? The only characters with tails in the whole series are the sirens who are along the bottom of the cover there, and they're not even animals, so who knows?
Okay.
All right, my man. Well, that brings us to question number 2. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Arya, like who you are, where you got started, what your influences are, what really drove you to make Tailless a thing.
Yeah, so I'm 23. Tailless is literally the first foray into comic books that I've ever done. This is the first, since it's a collection of mini comics, issue 1's the first comic I ever drew, and then issue 7 being the most recent comic I've ever drawn. And so this is it. This is my whole career, like in one book currently. But I've got top 3 favorite books. They never change, but the order in which they're my favorite does change depending on the day you ask me. So, Sensational She-Hulk by John Byrne, Marvel's Excalibur with the Alan Davis run, and Monkey Man and O'Brien by Arthur Adams. Like, Arthur Adams is by far my favorite artist, and I try in vain to replicate his style, and I capture like a tiny fraction of what Arthur Adams does. But I'm working on it. We'll see how that goes.
Well, that's all right though, because I'm a firm believer that you should never try to fully replicate somebody else, be it writing, art, whatever. You know, take your influences, but always make it your own.
And the second thing, sometimes it's very difficult. Like I've heard about people who have done it, you know, that they were able to copy the style to perfection, but most of the time it's, you know, you're not completely able to do it because you always put a little bit of your own.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't want to be 100% the same, but I found that like it was the point when I discovered Arthur Adams and I started trying to copy what he was doing, that suddenly my learning curve went from being kind of flat to like I suddenly started figuring out how to draw basically. And I think that's a good tip for everyone. Like find your favorite artist and try to figure out what they're doing.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as a writer as well, like I'm heavily influenced by R.A. Salvatore. I've always loved his style. Yeah, man, his books are always great. His action is great, and that's where I spent most of my time in my younger years with my nose in a book. It was usually a Salvatore book, but some others in between as well. But all right, brother, number 3 coming at you. So tell us a little bit about the universe of Talus, the world or universe. I'm assuming this might span a galaxy or a universe at least, being an outer space story.
Yeah, pretty much the whole universe, the whole galaxy, whatever. So this is set in a universe, like I mentioned a bit earlier, where superpowers exist. Picture this like the Star Wars universe, right? So there's humans, there's all these freaky aliens. And think of Talus. He just happens to be an alien that looks like a muscly cat in spandex, right? So, but yeah, there's these superpowers that exist out there. So there's these crazy villains with all sorts of different powers. Like we have one guy who he's called the Gunslinger. He's like a 7-foot tall cowboy. He can turn his hands into guns and knives and stuff. We have another guy who is like my parody of the Incredible Hulk, the Abominable Yeti, so on and so forth. There's all these crazy supervillains, right? And they're waging terror upon the galaxy. And the good citizens of the galaxy, they have this intergalactic police force who is meant to save the day, like defend them, keep them safe. Problem is, most of them don't have powers of their own, so they're not really equipped to be dealing with these crazy superpowered supervillains. So that's at that point, a young Talus and a young Jet realize they have to answer the call to defend the galaxy. So they team up, and even though they've got no powers themselves, they use their muscles, the crazy cool sci-fi gadgets, and just good old-fashioned charm and good looks to save the day. And that's the universe of Talus, pretty much.
All right, very cool. The writer says, I'm back. You may continue. Well, thank you. Thank you for your permission.
You got ahead of me. I was just about to respond to him.
All righty, on to number 4. All right, we've talked a little bit about your heroes so far, but maybe get a little bit more in depth. Maybe where they've come from and what their influences are, and any special abilities they may or may not have, or maybe even some of their downfalls, like what they're lacking.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so Talus and Jet, picture them as Han Solo and Chewbacca. They're 100% inspired by Han Solo and Chewbacca. Only difference is Jet can talk. He doesn't make all the Wookiee noises, you know? Yeah.
Only when he's eating, right?
What's that?
Only when he's eating.
Only when he's eating, yeah. So the dynamic is like Jet is the brains. He's the eye in the sky. He'll often stay in the ship. For example, when Talos is on planet on his various adventures, he'll be communicating with Talos from afar, telling him all the information he needs to know on these crazy bad guys. And Talos is the front man. He's the good looks. He's the guy who saves the day and wins the lady at the end of it. So that's the dynamic there. We've also there's another main player in this story. That's Adelaide, aka the Phoenix. She is Talos's love interest, and she's actually part of that intergalactic police force I was mentioning. However, she is one of the rare few who actually has superpowers, and she's kind of like a furry Superman. So, but all her powers are fire-based, right? So she got fire-based versions of Superman's powers. So she can like flame on like the Human Torch, and then when she's in that state, she's basically invulnerable. She's, you can't hurt her. Instead of laser vision, she can shoot fire. She super fast, super strong, all that stuff. And then her weaknesses come when she turns back to normal form, and you will see that dynamic play a part in one of the mini comics here. So yeah, those are the three main characters. We've also then got on screen right now you can see the sirens, which are those beautiful triple-titted demon babes. They are by far my favorite villain from the whole book. I think they're my favorite characters from the whole book, to be honest. First off, they are so fun to draw. I mean, obviously. And if you need 3 reasons to back Talos, they're right there.
1, 2, and 3.
Yeah. These are my favorite. They're really fun to work with as well. I like the whole concept of them. They basically lure adventurers from across the stars to their strange. They basically live underground on this strange undiscovered moon, and with their song they lure adventurers and other explorers from across the stars to them, and they basically bewitch any males that hear their song, just like the sirens of Greek mythology, except these ones have 3 titties and they're in outer space.
Right. Now, is there ever a dynamic where the other characters are getting a little jealous of the one character with superpowers?
Yeah, kind of. There is actually. It's kind of funny you asked me that. There's the whole Talos's girlfriend is more powerful than Talos and Jet put together, you know. So there is the dynamic of and you'll see like a glimpse of it in one of the stories where she's like, she doesn't want Talos to get hurt, but Talos is so like he's like, I describe him as Captain America, except the whole galaxy is his America. So he's so
right.
like patriotic and, you know, wants to save the good people of the galaxy that he'll never stop, you know.
It looks like Chris is having an issue here. This is a furry Superman. I don't know if I can have him back on my show. Chat would give me hell again. Chat gives you hell every time, Chris. There's no avoiding that.
Yeah. There are different reasons for that.
Hey, wherever I go, suddenly the chat just starts asking me, am I a furry? Am I a furry? And then whoever I'm on with, oh, this person's a furry confirmed.
Yeah, that's it's kind of unavoidable with any book with animals in it. It doesn't matter if the animals are even anthropomorphic. You know a little bit about that, right, Katie?
Yeah. I kind of started the werewolf comic. Yeah, I kind of know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Well, Chris is definitely excited now. All right, we're going to take it on to number 5. You can probably guess what that is. Can you tell us a little bit about the villains of the Talos universe and what they might be?
Yeah. So there's a new villain in each mini comic. Well, actually, I say a new villain. In the very first mini comic, he's facing off against 3 of the 3 escaped convicts. So 3 villains straight away in the very first comic. Where he's one of them is called Split Spit. The other one is the Raven, and the other one is the Beardy Weirdy, right? Those are the first three villains he faces off. Split looks exactly like Tailless. He's another guy. He's like another member of the same species, but he was involved in an accident where, like a cloning accident. He's a cloning mastermind, but it went wrong, and he sort of started splitting in half. So he has a face that's dividing, but it hasn't divided completely. So he has like 2 mouths, 3 eyes, 3 tongues, and he's got like these hands that are splitting apart as well, and he's got like 6 or 7 fingers on them.
Oh, nice.
Those are the first villains. Who else is there? We got the Gunslinger, who is that 7-foot-tall cowboy I was talking about, who can turn his arms into all sorts of crazy cool weapons. We've got the Abominable Yeti, who is basically a parody of the Incredible Hulk, but everything's like snow themed. We've got a really cool one is the Bounty Hunter. He's someone who you'll see reappearing in future Tailless issues, because after this I plan to do the first full-size Tailless issue, right? The Bounty Hunter will feature in that. He is, think of him like Boba Fett from Star Wars, obviously, but he has an interesting twist to him, which I don't want to reel too much about. But yeah, he's a really cool character you should keep an eye on. Who else we got? We got the Sirens. They're the bad guys in issue 5. We've also got we have the Tailless Not Daredevil crossover, right? The bad guys in that are literal space Nazis, right? And like they're humans, they're human characters. So I guess it's just like the Third Reich just took the Socialist Party to Mars or something, and Tailless fights actual Nazis in outer space. Like that one's written by Commie Mark, so of course he's that.
Of course. Very cool, man. Well, Ryan Cardinal says Triboob is always a good thing. I can't disagree. Power says regular pants with all these graphics. Sorry, Katie.
Apparently, there's never enough boobs.
Hey. Yeah, Ryan is also anticipating the meeting between Siren and your
Ryan, how many times you have?
Yeah, I think you built some excitement there, Aria.
Oh god, I haven't brought that up on the stream before, so
I think you bought yourself out of that furry thing with these titties and tongues.
Yeah. There's a lot of things that come in threes on this campaign, it seems, and I'm only just noticing myself.
Alrighty, well, that is up to our last question here. And we're going to let Katie take the floor with this one.
So here is a wild question.
Okay.
If you had to eat a crayon out of its box, what color would it be and why?
Red, because that's strawberry flavor, obviously.
Good choice.
Okay, perfect choice. Yeah, you definitely fit the audience. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Please do hit the like button. Thanks for being here, DJ D. Good to see you, man. Aria, is there anything else you would like to tell the fine folks about?
Yeah. So, cheers for having me, guys. It would be really cool if you get some backers. Anyone who does decide to back today, I'll throw in some free artwork with your backing. I did some Inktober drawings a couple of years ago. Basically, Tailless meets Cthulhu and other Lovecraftian monsters. I did this on last night's stream as well. So if anyone backs tonight, then I'll throw in some free artwork for you as well from that Tailless Lovecraft crossover.
Beautiful. All right, man. Thanks for being here. I'm sure we'll see you again sooner or later.
And take care of those beautiful locks.
Thank you. I will. Thank you.
We have a competition against Culture Casino here.
Hey, I sold some of my hair on this campaign the other day, so like I'm trying to give everyone some goodies.
Did you sell it, or did you accidentally put it in the tape?
Someone was in the chat. I said asking me to send them my hair. I said back the book, and then next thing you know, they did. So I sold my hair now.
Somebody's gonna get a wig.
Yeah. No more hair, but I will be sending free artwork with anyone who backs. So we'll do that.
Yeah, I mean that's a hell of an incentive right there. So yeah, guys, check it out. I don't think I got the links in the description yet, but our good mods are posting them. So thank you guys very much. I'll definitely get the links in the description after the show. But yeah, thanks, man. Hope you have a good one.
Thanks for having me, dude.
Absolutely. We're going to bring on our next guest. And that would be Chimera. What's up, my man? How you doing?
Hey, how's it going?
It's going very well. How are you?
Oh, fine. Just closing down this campaign.
And you could be more excited about it.
No, I just sound like this. I am excited.
I know.
That's your excited voice.
Wait till you see the next guest.
Oh, let's not compare excitement levels. But let's get excited for our first question, shall we? So what's your pitch for Testament, brother?
So Testament is a science fantasy graphic novel about a young swordsman who's on a quest for revenge against a brutal king who killed his family. And along the way, he learns about the powers he inherits. Oh, thank you, Pale Rider. Yeah, the power he inherits. And he teams up with the rebel group. You know, not like Star Wars. Completely different. So there you go. And that's his companion, Buck, basically a mutated wolf called Vinnieart out of Norse mythology. And there's a lot of Norse mythology, like with that statue. That would be Carl's ancestor, who's basically a god of sorts. I guess lowercase g would be more appropriate. He looks a bit like Tyr from Norse mythology with the missing hand. And so, yeah, that's where he gets his powers, and you'll find out what those powers are in the book.
Very cool. All right, we'll move on to number 2. So tell us a bit about yourself, Chimera. What got you started in the indie comic scene?
And make it in an excited voice.
As excited as you can muster.
Yes.
I guess if you want an origin story of how I got into comics, it would be through shoplifting. Got caught shoplifting with my brother for Yu-Gi-Oh cards and other stuff, and we got caught, and we were in big trouble. So we had to find another hobby other than Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and those were comics. In Kansas City, Missouri, there was a comic book shop called Comic Cavern, and I found, I grew up with Batman the Animated Series and a bunch of stuff. I knew comics existed, but I never cared enough to read them. But when I was around 12, I started reading Batman and Spawn and, some cape stuff, but I mostly like the dark heroes like Batman. So I guess that's how I got into comics.
Very cool. What kind of influences do you have as far as your writing and just the themes of your stories? What kind of genres are you into?
Well, with SOS, it's more, I was a big fan of Adult Swim shows, dark humor, but also stuff like Garth Ennis, because he uses a lot of dark humor in like his Punisher run or, Hitman, even Preacher. And so, I use that for SOS, but for Testament, that's more of a manga or anime, influence, because I started writing this in 2017, around the time I started falling out of love with comics. We all know why.
Right. Yeah, I know why intimately, yes.
Yeah, so I got back into anime and manga. Like I found Vampire Hunter D and Akira, and so I kind of used those for influences of this, post-apocalyptic stuff and motorcycles. Carl's jacket kind of being like Kaneda from Akira with the little logo on his biker jacket. I have no idea who Steven is.
Stephen Walton. But yeah. All right, very cool, man. Let's move on to our next question. Now, as far as the universe of Testament goes, can you just kind of give us an introduction to the world, what kind of lives these people are leading, etc.?
Yeah, the first book takes place in Rhineland, so it's basically Germany. So I would pitch it as kind of Imperial Germany, like 1800s mixed with modern day, because you see some shock troopers, in armored suits, but then the king dresses in more of a 1800s or 1900s imperial style. So, when I was first conceptualizing Testament, I kind of pitched it as Dark Souls meets Mad Max. It has fantasy elements, but also kind of post-apocalyptic and, nuts with mutants and bandits and a lot of crazy shit.
Yeah, crazy shit is good. I'm not far from 3 Mile Island, so I'm not, not unfamiliar with mutants.
Yeah.
Cool. Is there going to be any expansion in the future away from this one planet, or are you not sure about that yet?
No, I thought about it. The whole traveling to other worlds and meeting aliens, that we're not going to go Star Trek with it. We'll just stay on the planet, which is called Vaughn. Might be post-apocalyptic, but it takes place on a faraway planet. I just don't see the characters meeting aliens. That's not really what I wanted to do. There's going to be more dark fantasy than sci-fi, if that makes sense.
I got you. Yeah, man, that makes perfect sense. I mean, one world is big enough to explore. It's big enough to hold a franchise in. Just depends what you want to do and where you want to go with it. It also gives you more time to get in depth with the world and the people in it. So that's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
All right.
Are you talking about the world like a planet, or world like universe?
No, just the world itself, the planet. And there's 5 regions. Each one has a warlord. They're all kind of cruel bastards in their own way, and they run a type ship. And the king right there on the top left, he's trying to take over the 5 regions, and so the main characters are trying to stop him because that'd be no one likes world domination.
So it's a big world, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, world domination is for a-holes. Yeah, it's definitely a hell nah pose he's got there. On to number 4. All right, man. Tell us a little bit about your heroes.
Yeah, so the main character is Carl von Magnuson. He's a bit of a brash young man. Well, I guess not in that cover. That cover, he looks like a muscular man. But anyway, he's a brash young swordsman. And, I didn't want to make him too comedic, but he kind of has a bit of a smart mouth. But, he's not a Carnage from SOS. Let's just put it that way.
Right.
Yeah, he's serious, but he also has a smart mouth, kind of like Han Solo, if that makes sense. And actually, if you scroll back up, I'll be able to list the characters. Yeah, there we go. So the old man is the leader of the rebel group. He's actually a former criminal, and now he's reformed, and he's training these kids.
Is he a reformed shoplifter?
No, actually, assassin and stuff. Yeah,
that's much cooler.
So it's the next level from shoplifter.
Yeah, I actually based him on my great grandfather, who was a criminal and bootlegger. So there you go.
Okay, cool. Go on.
And the girl, kind of a side character. She's a magic user, and her past is a bit mysterious. You'll learn later in the series. And then there's other, I guess, red shirts, but they all wear green, so let's call them green shirts. They're kind of the background characters because you need to have a big rebel group, but I don't have to introduce. Not every character is going to have a complicated background.
Girl also
Right.
based on someone from your family?
No, I just like having sexy blondes.
Damn it.
Yeah, so she's a bit odd. She doesn't use guns or swords. She uses a bow within her magic skills.
So how about his companion, his wolf companion? Is that at all sentient or more animalistic?
Oh no, animalistic, but it does have a interesting bond with Carl. I would like to explore that in book 2, elaborate on that.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right, man. We heard a little bit about the heroes. Let's talk a little bit about your villains, man. You can't have great heroes without great villains.
Exactly. The main villain would be the king, Ulrich von Magnuson, Carl's evil uncle. So I kind of went a little Hamlet with this. And, he he's trying to take over the 5 regions in book 1, and then in book 2 it's elaborated. Elaborated on his motives. At the end of book 1, since we hit the stretch goal where we had a bonus story, that'll elaborate on the king and his motives. It's kind of like a blink and you miss it kind of thing. Yeah, you kind of have to like pay attention to the bonus story in the end of book 1, and they'll kind of make sense.
Gotcha. Bobby Campbell, thanks for joining us, my friend. How about the other warlords? Are they going to play a big role in this book, or is that going to be more for future content?
The Ashcan preview, that little tier right there, Carl's fighting with the warlord of basically a China region, and he's also kind of connected. He's helping the king, Ulbrich, take over the other regions. So in that preview, you'll get to see a little bit of that.
Oh, very cool. So you're kind of going. Each region kind of has its own, maybe Earth-like culture with a twist.
Yeah, each region has a warlord, and Rhineland's basically Germany. There's a Daewoo called basically China, Raj Empire basically India, and so on. There's an Eastern European region, NyRiam. That makes you happy?
Of course, always.
Slavic region.
So?
All right.
You're just so jealous.
Totally. And the big one. What horrible question do you have for him, Katie?
So, Chimera.
Yeah.
What do you think of the human species? Because I need an outsider's opinion.
Oh, I have the perfect response for that.
Go for it.
I was telling someone earlier today, I was pointing to my dog and I said, that animal over there has treated me better than most humans my entire life. So that's why I'm putting wolves, that's why I put the wolf into this book. Carl has a bond with the wolf. You're like, this ferocious animal has been nicer to him than most people.
That kind of shows that you're probably not you're not living in the best society, right? You should probably change place. Like Slavic areas. Just saying.
We all live in a society, NyRiam.
Oh, Jesus. And with that, we're going to cut you loose. Chimera's going to be back tomorrow. We'll do this a little bit more in depth on Testament. That's going to be closing out shortly, in about a week or so. Is that right?
Yes.
Cool. Do you have anything else you'd like to tell these fine folks before you're off?
Check out Testament. The Rob Willis cover is a variant that's exclusive to this campaign, so I will never reprint it.
I'll see you jump on that, guys. All right, man. Thanks for being here.
Sure thing. Thank you.
Absolutely. Taylor M has to take off, but thank you, my friend. Thanks for being here. Thanks for stopping by. And hopefully we'll see you the next round. Power says Chimera equals Hannibal confirmed. Well,
but we already got the. Yeah, go.
I was just gonna say I can't totally disagree with his answer to that question.
Okay. But we kind of got already the excitement levels for Chimera, so we can compare with our next guest. We got the measurement from 1 to 20. I don't know if you noticed that, but we got the first answer to being 25, one being 5, and one being somewhere in negative numbers. So we'll see.
Well, I saw 25 pop up there too.
Yeah.
Our next guest is Aaron Calamari. If he's you're there? Awesome. How's it going, my man?
Hi. So.
Pretty good. Let's talk a little bit about Murder Weapon. I guess we'll start with our first one. And I think I cut myself off there a little bit, but oh well. Throw down the pitch for this, Aaron. What's the elevator pitch for this?
So, as usual, I remain unprepared for these kind of questions.
That's all right. I tried to make them as simple as possible.
Yeah,
Not everybody's, really an expert at pitching and enjoys it too much. But
Yeah. What would I think?
So, Murder Weapon is a brutal black and white biopunk action comic book. It's about a black ops agent who he sort of sees the company for what it is for the first time in his life, sees this evil corporation for what it is, and he sets out for revenge. And the comic is $10, and you get the comic book, you get 2 print posters, like mini posters, and you get 2 trading cards, and you get a sticker by 6 a.m. Comics.
Oh, very cool. That's one thing I've noticed about your campaigns. You're keeping these very affordable, which is very cool.
Yeah, I try to.
And from what I see, I mean, the art looks gorgeous. Wow, I'm just stunned.
Yeah, Raphael Cristani is the main artist on this book. He drew the cover and all the interiors, and then I hired a bunch of different artists to do all the cards and posters and stuff.
Right.
Very cool. Well, so far I'd say your energy level at least matches Chimera's.
Oh my God, I need to ask the chat about that.
All right. Well, while you're doing that, we're going to move on to number 2. So yeah, tell us a little bit about yourself, Aaron. What got you into this, and like how long have you been into comics, or is it, it might not just be comics. A lot of people are inspired by other things. So yeah, what are your inspirations? What drew you to feel the need to create?
I got into comics when I was 9 years old. I've been collecting since then. I got into Marvel comic books first, and I became obsessed with the X-Men, especially Wolverine. I also like Hulk, Punisher, pretty much all the main Marvel characters.
More of a Marvel than a DC guy.
Yeah, I was. And then about the time that Image came out, I was a young teenager, and me and my buddy decided, we should try to make our own comics, and we didn't really know what to do or anything like that. And there's been a few times in my life where I decided to try to make comics, but I never really knew how to get into the industry or anything until CG came along, and I realized I could make my own stuff, completely do whatever I wanted. And that's kind of how I got into doing the Indiegogo thing, was through Comicsgate. And then I lost my train of thought.
No, it's all good, man. Yeah, I know.
My influences, definitely Chris Claremont. Also, you were saying earlier R.A. Salvatore, and R.A. Salvatore is a big influence on me. I think he's one of the best action writers out there.
Absolutely.
I have a lot of influences. I'm kind of drawing a little bit of a blank right now, but most recently, I would say Zack Snyder's movies, and especially movies like Sucker Punch, and I would say Peter Simeti as well.
Cool, man. Yeah, I think Comicsgate really opened the doors for a lot of people, because it never really seemed possible before, right? And
yeah,
now it's quite possible, So that's definitely a cool thing. Most of the people that I know and associate with today are Comicsgate. So yeah, that's
same here.
Definitely opened a lot of doors for a lot of people, and really helped everybody, I think, kind of come against this mainstream nonsense. Because you see, even since Comicsgate started, it's really, the nonsense in the mainstream is really ramped up. It just keeps ramping up every single day. They get to find some way to be more ridiculous and ruin entertainment more. So, yeah, I encourage everybody, keep it rolling, man. Let's keep doing what we're doing. But yeah, on to number 3. All right, man. Before we get started, I want to say hi to Hatch. He popped up in the chat. Good to see you, man.
Channel member.
Been a minute. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much for that, my friend. JM2021 is here as well. He says, I like the art. Who did it? think Jay just popped in and missed that. Aaron, would you like to?
Yeah, Raphael Cristani did the artwork. This piece right here that we're looking at, Christian Rossi did.
Very, very cool. So yeah, tell us a little bit about the universe of Murder Weapon, like maybe where it takes place. What kind of is this, like a post-apocalyptic future, or yeah, just give us the scoop on the universe itself.
Murder Weapon takes place in our universe. It's basically modern day or maybe like near future, and it's kind of like the Marvel universe where there's like over the top things are somewhat normal, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure.
And this sort of the sort of like the environment that this story takes place in is like a world of covert operations.
So yeah, tell us a little bit about that group. He works for like an agency.
Yeah. He works for sort of a shady company. They're literally called The Company, and they send him on different missions for data retrieval. And in the story, he's on a data retrieval mission, and he sort of gets his mind zapped, and it knocks him into. It sort of like knocks his mental control off of him, so he can see the company for what they really are. And yeah, I think I'll save the rest for a different question.
I was just about to say, since we're getting into that, let's talk about the hero. So yeah, let's talk about our main man. Is he the only hero in this, or does he have companions as well?
There really are no heroes in Murder Weapon, but I would say that he is the most heroic character in the story, because how do I say this? He
has morals, but they're questionable.
Yeah, he decides to help because he finds out that there's a woman who's captured, and he wants answers for what's been going on. So he decides to go and try to find her to break her out.
Gotcha. So is he kind of maybe doing this a little bit out of the kindness of his heart?
Maybe,
or strictly business.
I think it's more about his own motivation to kind of go back and see what's been happening through like a clearer lens, because he's been under the fog of mind control this whole time. So he goes back, to kind of see for himself what's going on, while also with the mindset of taking down the company himself.
I got
Kind of reminds me of RoboCop.
Yeah, I love RoboCop.
Yeah, the plot wise, like he was, being like a police, and suddenly he saw that something else is actually going on. But I think you can see that in many movies. So.
Oh yeah, the biopunk aspect of this book is in these vials that he has with syringes where he can inject himself with different superpowers. So in the story, he injects himself with different things, like he can overheat his body to where he would just walk right through walls and melt through them. He can give himself super healing, super strength, enhanced vision, all kinds of things like that through these different injections.
Ah, cool. Yeah, that's a cool element to throw in there. Hatch asked for a 30-second pitch. We did the pitch, but since it's Hatch, I'm going to ask you if you can do a 30-second pitch just for Hatch.
Well, I don't know about 30 seconds, but it's Murder Weapon is a brutal paramilitary biopunk action comic book. It's about a Black Ops agent who goes out for revenge against the company he previously worked for. There's lots of action and violence in the story. It's pretty simple. It's fun. Well, if you like brutal violence, it's fun. And it's affordable, and it's got great artwork, and it's worth it.
Perfect. You've
Cool, man.
just done a 30-second page. I was checking the time.
There you go.
Awesome.
Cool. Let's move on to number 5. Now, you told us a bit about the company already, but is there specific individuals within the company that we're going to be seeing that he's going to be dealing with?
At the point we're at right now in the story, the villain is a faceless corporation, and we're dealing mostly with thugs and lackey type enemies that you would see, typical like Punisher thugs and stuff.
Cool. So you have plans to, is this like the first book in a series?
Yeah, it's meant to be the first in a series. I started writing issue number 2, but it looks like Raphael's kind of busy right now, so I've kind of put it on the back burner a little bit. I'm just kind of focusing on this one for right now.
Gotcha. That says take out the ums, and at least you got a good pitch. I'll check out the campaign when I go.
Sorry about the ums.
Listen, ums are hard to avoid sometimes. It's you see it in politics all the time. There I go. See, sometimes the ums just flow.
But I'm just not very good at
speech.
Yeah, I'm aware of the ums. I'm just not very good at getting them out of there.
It's okay. You use those, in everyday speech during your daily conversation. Mm-hmm. It's a sign that your brain is working the way it's supposed to, right?
NyRiam's always here to save the day. And she's going to save the day with this next question. Oh boy, I can't wait for this one.
So, cats or dogs? I mean, if you had to, which one would you eat?
If I had to, I would say dogs, because I think dogs actually care about you.
You didn't listen to the question. If you had to, which one would you eat?
Oh no. I don't know. I want to say a cat would taste better, but I don't really know.
Okay, that's pretty much your choice.
I would say cat, just because I feel like it would taste better than a dog would.
I have a feeling you might be right. Hatch prefers dogs. I don't think to eat though. I think that came up before the eat part became apparent.
Both cats. I love both cats and dogs, so that both of those questions were difficult for me. The one I thought it was, and the question it really was.
Ryan says my favorite place for ums is during the in-between period interviews with hockey players.
Yeah.
So the question you asked.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Aaron.
The question you asked earlier about the crayons, I wanted to answer that one because I think I would try the yellow crayons, because my dog, for some reason, loves yellow crayons and tries to get those ones specifically and tries to eat them.
Wow. Okay.
Maybe it's the color in the poop that really turns them on. But the dogs are colorblind, aren't they?
It's
confirmed.
I
think so.
Yeah. The cats have more protein in meat.
Yeah, dogs are probably, I don't know which one would be healthier for you though.
Depends. It depends how many days you haven't eaten, right?
Yeah,
I suppose so. All right, Aaron. Well, thanks for stopping by, my man. We got one more
Thank you
guest
for
in
having me
wings.
on.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely. Yeah, good luck on the campaign. Everybody check out Murder Weapon. Again, mods, thank you very much for posting those links in the chat. I'll get all those links in the description after we're finished here. But yeah, Aaron, have a good day, man.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Pat,
You're-
before you invite another guest on, if it was the other way around, did you know that the cats would be first, earlier to start to eat you if you died? That's a fact.
I've heard that. Which, I mean, I don't really care. Like, if I'm dead and the cat's stuck in the house, then have at it. The cat's got to eat.
Okay, cool.
Speaking of eating, I guess that's
Yes.
a terrible segue. What's up, Simon? How you doing?
What's
man?
up? Nice intro.
Sorry, that was terrible.
No problem. It's a pleasure being here. How you guys doing?
Pretty good, man. Good to see you. How you
Yeah,
doing?
I'm gonna have to choose you a really hardcore question because it's you.
Oh boy, I noticed they're getting more and more wacky. So be careful.
Oh yeah.
All right, but we're talking Tales of the Natverse,
Yes.
and of course,
Yeah, and as you can see on the countdown, there's only 9 days to back this campaign
I
and
see
get all
that.
these perks here, because the perks in there, like the prints and the stickers, the individual stickers, they're just for this campaign.
oh, very nice. Well, before we get into that, let me play the this thing. Sorry, just got to keep it consistent.
Yes.
What was your pitch for Tales from the Natverse, my friend?
Well, not the Tales from the Natverse. It's technically introducing you to the Nat. Nat is a merc who has to live a life of an outlaw because of his origin. Then he needs to keep a secret. What he knows from it, anyways, and that's not much. But a set of events will lead him to the path of his genesis. And this is an anthology series where you get to meet Nat and a whole bunch of different characters like Rose, Elrica, Zed, Bob. And it's to introduce you to that universe and all those characters that will lead and build up to the Nat the Merc series.
Very
and that,
cool.
and it's 80-page, full colored, except one story that's the prelude story that's staying in pencil.
Awesome, man. So how much of this do you have planned out? I guess maybe I should save that for the universe question, but screw it, we'll just do it now.
So far, I have 3 Tales on an adverse plan. Nat the Merc is already starting. It's going to be starting in Inkslayer magazine. And I already have the 5 or 6 first pages done already.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I want to ask you a little bit about that before we finish up too.
Mhm.
Pale Rider was asking, could you maybe up a little, your mic, your volume?
Is it better now?
Oh yeah. Oh, and he said, "My bad. I turned down my volume."
Oh my god.
That shows if anyone is reading this book, Sim has awesome art and interesting design choices. More vampire books soon, Sim.
Yes, I'm working on a crossover with Bloodhunt and Doc Salem with Brian Kreisgau and Preston. Keep your eyes out for that one.
Heck yes. All right, man. Let's move on to number 2. Come to think of it, I probably shouldn't have made number 2 the creator, right? Because that could be seen as insulting, I guess. But that's not what it's meant to be. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Simon. What I know you've been in the business of comics for a long time. But yeah, give everybody a little taste of your background, maybe some of your influences. What really starts your fire when it comes to the world of comics?
Well, I grew up with comics, and I grew up with comics like Asterix and Obelix, superhero comics, American comics, European comics, manga, anime. I was in that area where I have technically access to all of that. I grew up watching like Grandizer and Captain Harlock and stuff like that.
Cool.
And I'm aware that not many people know that anymore.
Yeah, people don't know much anymore. We got a late arriving co-host here. Vinny's in the house. What's up, man?
Hey, hello everybody. How we doing today?
We're doing well. We're learning a bit about Simon right now.
Oh, cool.
Vinny, just remind me, don't let me forget, I have a very special question just for you. I was just hoping, I was praying, I was like pulling you. Oh, I hope Vinny's gonna come because I had to ask you this question.
You have to or you hate to?
I have to.
Okay. Hello, chat.
Yeah, what's up, everybody? Stephen Walton's joining us. Chimera, if you missed it, that's Stephen Walton. Good to see you, man. Chris says I go to shower and I miss most of the show. Dang it!
Is Steven gonna jump in?
Rewind.
I might jump in.
Probably not.
Oh, damn it.
But yeah, well, now I've totally lost my place. I'm sure Simon probably has as well.
I was just gonna say, like most of everybody, I started with wanted to be like a comic book artist, but you start working on your own creation. You start knocking on DC, Marvel. You don't succeed. You get the turnaround. You get screwed, and then I met Michael Turner, and ever since I've been doing my own comic. And the first one was Wolf Dragon. Then after that, it was Nat the Merc. That was starting in CW9, and this is me bringing all of that back and being able to redo it, finish it and complete it, and this is like an ongoing series. There's no technical end to that.
Very cool, and that's that open-ended stuff. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm trying to do, man. I love that. Just you got a universe, keep it going, man. Keep it going.
Yep.
But yeah, we'll press on to number 3. Now let's learn a little bit about the universe of Nat the Merc. Maybe some things that might set this apart from other space universes.
Yeah, let's just say it's very huge. There's multiple like solar system in there, and like different, you could say like universe sectors, and it's divided. It's pretty much at war. You have the Federation, and you have other faction that you'll get to meet, but that's all stuff that I want to do gradually, because the entire idea is to introduce you to characters with their own little stories. But as the more we go, the more you start learning about the universe. So the Federation is, they're like a united front of multiple little like humanoid-looking type that have a big army that are, could say a bit like a reminder of Warhammer 40k type. They have giant fucking armor, robots,
Gotcha.
all type of stuff. And you're gonna, you have pirates, you have outlaws, you're gonna have magic in there, you have giant robots, you have all type of stuff. It's a mixed match of all the stuff I really like and all the sci-fi and everything. And I'm a huge heavy metal fan.
That's cool.
Are you still? Have you been a little off put by that at all?
I'm still a huge fan of what it was built for, and why it was meant to be. And this is what CG is all about again. It's been like that every time Marvel was funded by it, Image was, and so on and so forth. The second one, in the 70s, it was a heavy metal magazine because they were trying to fight about censor. Same thing with Image. Same thing with, so yeah.
Yeah, man.
Chris, hate to break it to you, but I'm sure that Pale Rider already, has cameras inside out everywhere.
Yeah, Pale Rider has eyes everywhere. That says Sim delivers a top quality product. I've backed over 100 campaigns on IGG, mostly CG, and Blood Hunt was really fun to read. You won't be disappointed taking a chance with Sim. That's a high compliment, my friend.
Yes, it is.
Excellent.
And with this project, you also get to see my growth. I didn't like when I say remastered, we just remastered like the colors. So you get to see my growth as an artist in there from 2012 to now.
Cool. Yeah, and those new colors are looking badass.
I know. every time I see them, I'm like, oh, sexy.
Yeah.
Me too. I have a little internet warning here, so I'm not sure what's happening with that. I'm going to play this next one, and hopefully it works out. You guys hear me okay?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right, goody. Yeah, my internet's been being a douche today, so hopefully we can make it to the end of the show. Let's hit number 4. Yeah, man, let's talk about these heroes. I know you got several.
Mm-hmm. In the first issue, you get to meet Nat and Rose. You can technically it's like they're not really heroes, but it's like
Protagonists.
but what I would mean is like they have their job like not summer, so he will do some stuff, but he has a moral code, right? But Rose is a pirate, but when you compare it to what's around the universe, they're good.
All right, so they're the best of the worst.
You can say that, but you also get to meet Luwani, and the two main heroes of the you could say of the story is Nat and Luwani.
I heard so much
Zed is
about
the
this
best one.
Luwani.
The green hair one. Yep. And she's the star of Tales from the Adverse too. She's you'll get to know her a lot more. Yep.
Major content rated R.
Yeah, fair warning, right?
Very titillating.
Yep.
Well,
Vinnie knows that it totally deserves to be there.
warnings are always good, especially if people are buying for their children. So that's good.
Yep.
This is true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. So what's can you tell us a little bit about what each of these characters can do?
Yeah, what I can tell you is Nat is very strong, and he has that metallic looking arm there, and that metallic arm can change into a type of claw sword. He doesn't know much from it, and it's more reactive, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, I think I know what you're saying.
So he also has the ability to be a technomancer. So anything he can touch that's technology, he can hack.
I gotcha. Is that it's probably a
And
stupid question, but I take it that's going to progress as the series progresses.
And it also protects him. Like Luwani, those tendrils there, it's about the same thing as the arm. They protect her. Like she'll be walking, you'll empty an entire clip of like a machine gun at her, and the things will block the bullets while she's walking towards it to break your neck.
Now, is that part of her hair, or is that something that
Yep.
comes out of her neck?
Part of the hair. No.
Cool.
That's
That
why when
word
you meet her,
says-
when you meet her for the first time, she looks like Rose, and you'll find out why. And you'll notice that the tendrils are the thing holding the hair.
Oh, gotcha. Awesome. Yeah, Pale Rider says, well, I see you didn't find the cam in the bathroom, Chris. Yeah. Damn, you
Are
do a
so
lot of
many
preening in front of the mirror.
Okay, so you saw the red dress. Saw the fitting.
Quite fitting. Well, I mean, why not? For old time's sake. I don't even know if Chris is still here, but enjoy it anyway. I mean, we're on the hero part, right? And Chris is absolutely a hero.
Bow, chicka, wow, wow.
Absolutely, with that red dress on.
Oh, yeah. But let's move on and talk a little bit about the villains. What kind of awesome, wacky villains do you have in store for us here, Simon?
Well, there you go. Here's one of them. Elrica, she's not technically a good person. She's the queen of a planet. She's a bit like my Von Doom.
Gotcha.
So she's feared throughout the universe, but her people love her to hell.
Beautiful.
And
Do they
when you
really love her, or do the grimy SOBs love her?
They're forced
they
to
love
love
her.
her.
She's good. She's good to them.
Okay.
But the thing is, like when you get to meet her in that story, they meet every 100 years, and all the royalties of each planet of that sector meet up there, and the winner of the Coliseum fight, the Royal Rumble they call it, right? Hence the joke you'll get. So the winner of the Royal Rumble inherits the trading, the supplies of that sector. They control all the market, right? And they also gain immortality. Like they don't age for 100 years. She's been winning the last 1,000 years. You could say, like
Oh,
the
so
last,
she's like the
10
top
ones.
participant, the reigning champion.
Yes, and she's been pretty dominant there. And that's the story that you get to meet her in there. And then when you get to not the Merc, but you get to see who she is in the universe.
Oh, very cool. Very cool.
Because that story actually connects to the Not the Merc story, because there's a point in the Not the Merc where he goes, I need to go see Elrica, and he walks in at the end of that story.
I got you. That's cool. I noticed you got a lot of tie-ins going on with these side stories. That's really cool, man.
But
Pale Rider says he'd do her. No surprise there.
the idea came from like trying to do like, you know, heavy metal. What can you do in short stories? Well, try and build a universe. And I'm like, how can you make it that you make them interconnect, and you can make them like, and then the idea of trying to like, it's like making small comics, floppies, series. So when I do the Night the Merc, I have a back catalog of short stories that people can go, oh, I know that person. Oh, I know her.
Yeah, that's an excellent plan. Absolutely.
And another bad character that's there. Like I've mentioned the character before. Everybody knows I have a big bad shark in there. But I've never showed it, right? Other than the 6 a.m. sticker a while back.
Right.
Oh,
is that something you're planning on doing?
You mean this?
I mean that.
So this is the first time showing Gillian in the book.
He's like, stand back while I whip this out.
He's got a big gun.
Yep. And that's Gillian. And that's another one of the big bad guy. And he's one of the ones that know where the arm's from.
So what's his deal? What's his motivation?
He knows what the arm is. And it's technically like the reverse of Moby Dick.
Okay.
That is his Moby Dick. Yeah.
Is it like Rocket Raccoon?
He's like
that arm's gonna be mine.
And we were making fun of the furries, you know, just a while ago.
But,
like this dude isn't a furry, but technically he's a furry.
It's a fishy.
As you can see, Gillian is pretty big. So
That's fishy.
He's part of what we call the primals, which are like some of the first races of that big universe, and they were all part of they know where the arm comes from. Like I said, I don't want to say too much. And when he saw it, his entire life since has been to find him again and kill him.
What a guy.
And he also has a really dark past with his Nat's best friend Zed that you'll find out in Tales from the Nat verse 3.
Ah, cool. More tie-ins. I love that, man. Time Prophet's in the house. What's up, man? Says, hey, I didn't get the notification because I wasn't subscribed. I'm now. Thank you very much, my friend. Appreciate it.
Welcome to the channel.
Absolutely. So, yeah, from there. Well, we only have one question left. But before we get to that, Sim, is there anything else you'd like to go over with Tales from the Natverse? Things you might be planning for the future? Anything like that?
Right now, the campaign's closing in 9 days. And like I said, the stickers and the prints, the exclusive stuff is leaving, but I'm planning a second chance campaign because since I'm international, there's no point of leaving like the in demand for too long, because if you don't make sales during the month, they take a lot of money. So what I had planned though is to have a second chance campaign that would go as soon as I'm done fulfilling, for the people that would go, oh, we want to jump in now, and that one I have a lot of cool stuff planned and a variant cover. Or maybe even 2, and I have something from Preston Acevedo. So keep an eye out. I have really cool stuff coming. Right, Red?
Very cool, man. Absolutely. Yeah, man. That's the thing, man. We've all got some really cool stuff coming. I can't wait to see what you got planned, man. But I also can't wait to see what Katie has planned with this next question.
Since Sim is the last person over here, you get a choice. You get to choose. You can choose. Do you want number 1 or number 2?
Oh,
number 1.
Okay, number 1.
Hey,
if you were the opposite sex for a whole day, what would you do?
Right. I think you got the right man for that question.
The same thing. Draw comics.
Oh, I'm so disappointed.
That was such a lame answer.
The PG rating.
I'd probably take long showers.
Would you be preening yourself in front of the mirror like Chris?
Okay. I honestly I didn't expect such a lame answer from Sim, but okay, fine. No, you are.
Yeah, I got to say, I was expecting a little more myself, but that's okay. I'm absolutely sure he would be drawing lots of comics, but I think there'd be some other activities he's not.
And I think it would be definitely some other day.
Cool, man. Well, good to see you again, Tim.
Johnny Cage just answered it. Come on, you have to show it.
Or probably just thought and promote my book.
Like the shilling, right?
It's like the right answer is, well, if I'm extra hot, then yes, masturbating all day. If I look gross, I'd be drawing and going on streams.
That's the thing, Pat. He's trying.
Yes, Hatch got it. He's trying to be professional. That's right.
That's right.
We try that here some of the time, but
Sure.
When?
Well, we have this nature, right? that just keeps bubbling to the surface, and we're trying to. Sim's just trying a little harder. But thanks for coming, man.
My pleasure.
We'll catch you soon, I'm sure.
Yeah, and keep your eyes out. Tales in the Adverse 2. I've already started sharing stuff.
Beautiful. I will be resharing that. Awesome, man. All right, we'll catch you in a bit. I think, Katie, did you say you had a special question for Vinny?
Yes, give the intro, please.
Of course.
Vinny, are you ready?
The answer is rum ham.
No. Okay,
Hatch knows us too well.
This is your spaghetti question.
Oh shit!
If a strand of spaghetti accidentally went out of your nose, would you sniff it back or pull it out with your fingers?
Pull it out with my fingers.
I just did it like.
Oh boy.
Well, Hatch says, I've got a question for Vinny. When's the new Lost City book?
I don't know what Lost City is, but if you meant
he's referring
Venus, Dead City, the sequel's coming after Shadow of the Kraken. So I want to finish that book, fulfill it completely. Then I'm working again on City Venus 2. I'm the sole writer, creator, artist, so I have to do one campaign at a time. I can't, and I will not do that to people where they, I've seen it before, where they open up multiple campaigns, they don't fulfill previous ones. No, that's a clusterfuck. But one campaign at a time. And yes, I'm on the last section of Shadow of the Kraken, so that's going to be fantastic. I can't wait to get this book done and in everyone's hands. This is going to be one hell of a story, and I'm going to be getting the same question. When's the second one coming out? As soon as they get the first one.
Probably.
I have one. Wait. But I still have one. Okay, never mind. Okay.
It's all good, Hatch.
Hold on. I don't know why it's doing that. I get this epileptic screen every now and then. There we go. That's better. Yeah, since you were good enough to join us, Vinny, go ahead and throw down. Let's do number 1.
You should have told me. I would keep it to, as a last question.
Well, we're just going to pitch. And then you're going to pitch as well, Katie, so get ready for that.
No, wait. I gotta go.
Shadow of the Kraken it's a very exciting pirate book. Yes, it's going to be having historical aspects to it. You're going to see characters from history going to be in this story, but it's also a supernatural story. So there are elements of that in here, in case anyone was wondering. But yes, we're going to be following Nathaniel James Callan as he goes from being part of the Royal Navy into piracy. He's going to be struggling with a lot of different things. I'm going to be playing with like that darkness of man, like how much is too much before you get pulled into the light again. he's breaking his own rules, his kind of moral code that he set out. It's the reason why he stopped being, working for the crown, and a lot of the evil shit that went down. But he starts to break his own rules. There are other influences at play. There's treasure. There's beautiful women. There's ship battles. It has everything you need. There's a villain who has an amazing backstory as well. It's going to slowly start to be revealed. But you'll find out why he's pursuing the main characters. He has his own agenda. Nathaniel, he comes across, I guess you would say it's the co-star of the book, Anne Galloway, who she's the one with the do-rag and the blue shirt. They kind of save each other. And yes, they're kind of they have a good union and good teamwork. But you'll see kind of what happens with the rest of the story and what's at stake. They also find a really mysterious treasure and a treasure map that's carved into a skull. There's multiple treasures or kind of locations on this map, but it's also coded. There's extra secret stuff about that I'll be revealing throughout the series. This book is going to be 50 pages, perfect bound. Again, action, adventure, mystery. A little bit of everything that you kind of want out of a story like this. And I will be deep diving into kind of the pirate lore and what kind of started piracy as well. So it's going to be a really cool, fun journey. And again, brutality. I'm not skimping on the violence, the blood. You're going to get everything you need because this is not Disney. This is part of the Vinnieverse, mellow art world. Yep.
Yeah, can you go to that third picture from the right? Vinny, I just noticed a thing. I noticed a crack. Wow, the coconut has a crack.
Yeah, there's a crack in it.
And there's a kraken.
And a kraken, that's right. But yes, there's also, I'm going to be kind of talking a little bit about slavery as well, since it was a big thing that happened back then. Half the crew is made up of freed slaves. This is stuff that actually happened back then. Even Blackbeard, he would save slaves, but he also betrayed them. And I've said this before because doing the research, when he got his syphilis, he was getting paranoid and everything else. And then, he ended up selling them in the Carolinas. He was a nasty fucker. But again, pirate.
Absolutely. And Hatch has more high praise. He says, I don't think I need to say anything about Vinnie Fulfillment King. Great art, delivers fast, stands by his products, and brought her from Cowboy Bebop to his channel once.
I had one of the actors from Cowboy Bebop.
He's like, just another actor,
But Hatch, thank you, brother. Yes, I am a trusted creator. Delivered 5 campaigns, one of which was a hardcover, and I think all those campaigns I ended up delivering early, to be honest. But so this is going to be one hell of a book, and I can't wait for everyone to see it. That's why I am taking my time on this one. I want to make sure everything is absolutely perfect, and that you guys are going to be smiling ear to ear when you get it.
Heck yeah. And what about, thank you very much for joining us. We're just about to wind it down, but you know what? We're gonna make NyRiam do a little bit of this too.
Are you kidding me?
Not in the least.
All right. So I went through this yesterday. I got it. Okay, so Bounds is a crossover between a manga and a Western comic. It's a black and white, more than 72 pages, werewolf comic with a very strong female lead. The main heroine is called Lena Jensen, and she's a werewolf. She lives in a pack, right? A werewolf pack, and she lives in the alpha family, which kind of predestines her to become the future alpha, which she strives for. The question is whether she has what it takes to become the alpha, and she has a long way to go, long road ahead of her, and a lot of enemies and a lot of people trying to accompany her or maybe stand in her way. Depends what she takes and what she's able to learn on her way to this destination. and her motives are really, really pure. She's not doing this because she's like, okay, I want to be cool, I want to be strong, I want to be woke, whatever. No, she's doing this because she's trying to protect people. She's trying to protect her family. So let's see how it goes. This is a comic. It's always going to be black and white. This is the first part of 10 plus or so. And I mean, each part is going to be probably the same big, maybe even bigger. We'll see. And let's wait whether Lena makes it to her goal.
Let's. And then, yeah, since you're a co-host, you'll get this one too.
Damn it, I knew it.
This is an easy one. Don't worry. Okay. When you notice your shoe is untied, how long do you go? Do you keep walking and just let it go? Or do you immediately tie that thing?
So that's a funny thing. When I'm walking, for example, to my job, I already have a feeling that it's going to untie. And that's when I look down and I see that it's becoming loose, and that's where I bend down and tie it immediately, because I'm such a clumsy person that if I was like, nah, whatever, and kept walking with untied shoelaces, I would probably flip over maybe the first or second step. So I just have to,
The answer is Velcro straps.
Huh?
Velcro? Only
Yeah,
nerds
yeah.
wear Velcro.
Yeah, or a zipper, yeah.
Who's got time to tie a shoe?
Hatch says I have slip-on boots. Yeah, get on my level. I used to wear nothing but tanker boots, believe it or not, just because they were super. I mean, I liked them. I thought they were cool. But the cool factor isn't what did it. What did it was they zipped up the side. I just keep those things tied all the time. And I could wear them to special events, too, because when you have your pant legs over them, they look like dress shoes.
Excellent. That's very wise.
Yeah. So I'm going to do a little shameless self-promotion, and then I'm going to go ahead and let NyRiam hit me with a wild card as well.
Yes.
Sunsworn Wings of Vengeance is funding now on Indiegogo. Don't miss this action-packed space fantasy adventure sure to rekindle your love for the genre. Get it now on Indiegogo, or just go to sunsworn.com.
Heck yes, do it. And finally, the host is not immune.
There it is. There is the question. The question is, where did you hide the body?
Well, it depends on which body. The most recent, in someone else's backyard, because putting it in your own is just stupid.
It is. This is a fact. I wouldn't know anything about that.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Wink, wink.
Yes,
Vinny,
that is
you
not
laugh.
immune. Alrighty, well, that's gonna about do it for today. Thanks, everybody. We're going to be doing this weekly, every week, Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, or 6:35-ish. Yeah, just getting more creators on, highlighting more people, and doing the thing. So thank you all for being here. You guys in the chat are awesome. Of course you can have one.
I have one question. I have one last question, and that's for author Stephen Walton, who couldn't make it today due to circumstances, blah, blah, blah. But I'm sure he's listening and he's going to be able to respond in the chat. His question is, what vegetable would you pick for a fight against the 10 years old?
What vegetable would you pick for a fight against a 10-year-old?
Yes.
We'll give it a little bit of time and see if that question catches him.
I think maybe even other people from the chat could respond quickly, you know?
Possibly, yeah. Anybody can respond to that. Well, actually, he popped on to answer that question.
There it is.
Man, you made me pop. Do I sound okay? I'm on mobile.
Yeah, you sound cool.
You just sound like you're in the bathroom.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's all.
I actually am in a bathroom.
In a
Vinny.
toilet bowl.
No, I'm not sitting on the bowl. I'm sitting on the edge of the tub.
I thought you were in the bowl.
I was going to say, you don't use a sink that way.
Wait, watermelon.
That's not a vegetable.
That is a vegetable.
If you hit a 10-year-old with a watermelon, he'll become a vegetable.
Yeah, a carrot can definitely take an eye out. Johnny Cage says if you need a vegetable for a fight against a 10-year-old, you probably shouldn't be fighting.
No, Johnny is correct.
Walton, what's your answer for this question?
I didn't even hear the question. I popped in.
What vegetable would you pick for a fight against a 10-year-old?
A watermelon.
No, doesn't count.
What do you mean it doesn't count? Oh, is that a vegetable or is that a fruit?
It's already been answered. It's already been used.
Oh, I can't say watermelon. Okay, what vegetable? Kumquat?
What?
Just had to find a way to make it weird, didn't you?
What are you talking about? I was trying to think of something random.
It's pretty random.
That is pretty random, yeah.
I should probably differ the question, and you should be like, what tree would you pick for a fight? Yeah, that's a different audience, and definitely not a 10-year-old.
I'm not going there.
Say Brutal Morning one says easy. It's one he's allergic to. All right, well, Stephen, we were just about to close out, man. Do you have anything you would like to throw out there or promote quickly before we go? And hail to Jason Black. Good to see you.
I just wanted to say, I want to say how proud I am of you, man, putting this show together. I'm glad that Rogue Entertainment is going to be supporting independent creators. Got a show for it. That's awesome. One of the mission statements that I want for Rogue is supporting independent creators, man. You know, it's been 3 years in this indie sphere. That's what I call it. It's a community of people, but some people don't like that word. It puts their panties in a bunch. But this indie sphere of people, you know, and we've seen a lot of good things come out of movements like Comicsgate and Fandom Menace, but we've also seen a lot of missteps, people misusing these hashtags or not representing them, at least in the way that I feel they could have been. Mm-hmm. And so one of my missions in Rogue Entertainment is to kind of fix all the dead ends or the things that I think that these things could have been. Supporting independent creators, standing up for one another, defending each other. But really, you know, giving a middle finger to the industry that hates us, that keeps putting out content that's either just a complete misuse of the things that we've loved our entire lives, or using it to, to change culture, to divide us and separate us. And I don't want none of that. I want to support independent creators, not drama. And so I'm very proud of you, dude. I'm very proud of NyRiam, Vinnie, everybody in Rogue that's been promoting indie creators, and I want to continue to do that. And
what about
put a lot of energy into that direction.
Are you proud?
Harrison's doing the best job ever.
Harrison, you're like a weird uncle to me. I don't know.
That's right.
I don't know if I want the money.
I said, get off my lap. Let the past die.
Suck it if you have to.
Whoa.
What?
That's just grandparents for Harrison.
Oh, fluoride in the water. It's making the frogs gay.
Yeah, Jason Black has a good point when you're using the word community. Just make sure you're not using it to police people. Absolutely.
Yep.
CG proud. Absolutely. Stephen, we did have a request. I'm not sure that Wookiee's Supremacy is in the chat still, but he popped on before the show even started and requested that you get irate about something. Is there anything you would like to get irate about before we close out?
You need to yell.
Man.
You need to yell.
Shit, I gotta put down the cigarette. Oh. All right.
Teacups. He wants to explode about teacups.
You can do the Fandom Menace historian thing.
No. I wanted to say that I've been seeing it. Let's see. Miss Martin Muses shared something the other day about kids being taught to hate themselves if you're a specific color in our school system. We see this going on in all of our entertainments. We see it in these fucking useless comics that are just poorly drawn and the message sucks. We see it in our entertainments. Just trying to use these things that were meant to bring us together to divide us. And that's when I try and find a reason to stay in this YouTube game, to stay involved in our indie sphere here, these are my focuses. When I see these misuses of properties, when I see idiots, privileged millionaires pulling the purse strings, that just want to keep us divided and fighting each other so that we don't see the real problem going on in our country, no matter, or our world, no matter where you are. It is definitely standing up for the right to have an opinion and standing up for the innocents that are trying to be brainwashed and programmed by these fucked up people working in our comics industry and in our entertainment industry. Fuck them. That's why I stand. Because you know what, guys? No matter if you're CG, Fandom Menace, whatever the hell you claim it, even if you claim a hashtag, we have shook the world. They are scared of us. No matter how small you are, no matter how small you feel, no matter how limited your voice may feel to you, trust and believe that together, unified, we shape the world. They are scared of us. They are scared of every independent creator, and they are scared of every YouTuber, every voice that stands up and speaks. So if you're in the chat, if you're a creator, stand up together because together we have the ability to affect change. And our middle fingers and our cries of disdain and our criticisms together as a whole scares the living shit out of these fake ass motherfuckers in the comics industry and in entertainment. So never feel like you're alone. Together we stand, divided we fall. Brothers and sisters, keep on fighting. Be true to yourself. Support independent creators, and just realize every time you buy a book, every book sold is a middle finger to those assholes. So keep supporting one another and keep it real. Hail to each other. Wash your hands. Wash your ass. Be good to each other.
Hell to that.
Hail, brother. That was beautiful.
Hell yeah. And on that note, yeah, man, we're going to wrap it up. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for supporting all of these awesome independent creators who are really bringing the future of entertainment. So until next time.
Wait, one quick plug. Tomorrow, I'm going to start doing streams at 4 p.m. on Fridays. So yeah, please tune in. I'm going to have on Rob Muerto, and Red should be around, and I believe NyRiam as well. So yes, it's going to be another good stream. We'll bring some thunder. We'll bring some. You know, I'll bring Harrison. I'll bring our good friend Alex Jones as well. We're gonna have a good time.
Hell yeah, Clown World. What's up, man? Said need Macho Man. Oh yeah, at the end of this. Peace out, all. Have a great day.